we got layers, especially with like how we left Survivor Series War Games, knowing like who got hurt and whatnot. I thought I thought we made the right pivot in the right places. And then we'll go ahead and kick off with what we started with. And I'm going to give Councilman his flowers right now for being 100% right. CM Punk pretty much saying what's next for him. And so eloquently put, he got on the ring and got on the ropes and started pointing towards the imaginary WrestleMania sign, saying that that's what's next for him. He doesn't know if he's going to do it by way of Royal Rumble, by way of Elimination Chamber, or by way of wise man and the favor that he needs for himself. But that man wants to be in the main event of WrestleMania. Point blank, period. Very simple. Only to be interrupted by Seth Rollins, who was making a solid late push for Hater of the Year. Yeah. We appreciate that, sir. So, yes. Solid late push because he ain't had no business with Punk thus far other than some subtle shade from across the room. If you that dude just wallflowering it up, he on the side like, yeah, I don't like the way you dress, man. I don't like the way you talk to the women. That's Seth Rollins right now. Yep. He brought his ass out and pretty much said, hey, like, I should have knocked you out a long time ago, but I was busy defending my title. I was busy trying to dismantle the bloodline. But you know what? Tonight's a good night. And I'll give Punk credit. Like, you don't want to get in a promo war with CM Punk because he said, hey, man, you had something I wanted back then. I'm not interested in you anymore. I'm looking past you. And then Seth wanted to start a fight. That's where things got interesting. And to a weird point, Sammy and Jay came out and split these guys up. And now Sammy and Seth have a war of attrition, war of words. And we learned that Sammy and Seth were close for 20 years, which is that's news to me. And
it's not for me. Like I've seen their matches, like with him as El Generico taking on Seth Rollins. They've had some bangers, like coming in the Indies, definitely.
Well, here's the part that got me excited. It's the fact that somebody finally told Seth the truth, and that's he's responsible for the tribal chief. That 10 years ago when he put the chair in Roman's back, he put that battery in his back to become everything he's become today. Seth laid some real truth on him, and then we got Seth kind of becoming an apologist for it, saying he's atoned for it. Say, hey, Sammy, you did the same thing. We don't want to hear all that shit, Seth. We got to start there because you be having too much bass in your voice about who Roman became when it's your fault when you sold out to the Authority. We ain't forgot.
We remember that chat. That was that man origin story. His villain origin story started right there. You saw it in his face.
You have no reason to be mad at Roman when you broke up the Shield, sir. But that's here to say we got a main event match between Seth and Sammy because Sammy said, hey, you got some hostility in your chest. We can just fight it out. So we got a match made. What did you think about the segment overall? How do you feel? I would say this is where we got the pivot, the first pivot of the night, because naturally we would think that Seth and Bronson Reed would keep happening, but we know Bronson got hurt after the tsunami attempt. So Seth wants to fight Punk. That's his goal, his end game. He just wants to fight Punk. He's mad that he's here. But Sammy gets involved in this, and pretty much we had some harsh truths. What did you think about that segment?
I enjoyed the segment because it gives us finally what we have been wanting to see, which is Seth versus Punk. Good to see that Punk is still healthy, that, War Games didn't take it out of him. And now it's just really one of those, like, how big do they consider this rivalry? Is it we're going to have it at Saturday night's main event, or does this go towards the Rumble, or does this take us all the way to WrestleMania? For me, I would like to see this as Saturday night main event. I think this would be a perfect platform for it to be done and to kind of just see like where we land with it. I don't think we need to have a determined winner just yet. Maybe some shenanigans happen and some interference go on, but I like seeing this. One thing I did like too, and I laughed my ass off, I was like, yo, I see why Punk be losing them UFC fights. This man can't fight.
That was weird, right?
Yo, I saw the swerve. I was like, you can't fight. I rewind that to look at. I was like,
I don't know if that was more on Punk or Seth because like it looked like Seth maybe like really trying to shoot fight, and maybe it threw Punk off. Like, hey, what are you doing? It was so weird how they tangled up.
Yeah, because it was one of those like I think Seth was coming in, and you know that one of the so there's a trick that they show us like if you have like some genuine beef with a person. So you know when they kind of like when Sammy and Kevin kind of go with the head to head and they hitting each other. So there's another one where you'll tie up and you'll start hitting each other back here, and you like really hitting the shit because it's like yo, no face shots. Y'all not finna mess up y'all faces because y'all taking this personal and beef. You get a bruise or mess up when you in the ring, that's different. We're not finna have y'all slugging it out and hitting each other in the face. But if y'all need to get some frustration out, you go hit for them sides and them bodies. I think Seth was going for that move while Punk had his stance in. Because again, I if this is for camera work, this is some of the greatest camera work I've seen from CM Punk. If it was legitimate and real of them not liking each other and Punk really thinking like, yo, I think this dude gonna really punch me in the face. Like, I can see him doing this because I don't see them talking about the segment. Yeah, and I don't see them talking about their segment before they came out. So to everything Seth Rollins said to Punk, he looking at it like, okay, this dude really wants to punch me in the face. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. And this dude may really do that. So let me square up. But I like it. And then it also still gives my chance Bronson Reed to have multiple stories when he comes back. Go after Seth and go after CM Punk for cause to him, he can say cause an injury. My biggest thing I didn't like about this is why is Mick Foley Jr. out here? Why was Jay out here?
I mean, keeping the peace, I guess. On some like, hey, these are our locker room leaders type stuff. I have no idea why they made the save.
I don't get
that's
it.
How we got Seth versus Sammy. And I like that. I don't. We have like this kayfabe or like I don't know why people just got problems with CM Punk backstage. I don't know. Because Sammy's beef with Punk was like, where'd that come from? Like I didn't even want a team with Punk, anybody but him. I asked for you twice.
No. So that did get cleared up actually. So it was cleared up on a social media clip before Survivor Series dropped. So they did a video with CM Punk's return, and they had a second video of the people who were there in that match that night talking.
I saw that Sammy was with the Usos, and he was saying like, "Oh, we had some issues in the past. I think they're clear now." But that still doesn't explain like on storyline. Like, hey, like I don't know. They make it seem like CM Punk has this like stench on him. Like
he come on, man. He does. But you already know that. Like it's something you still have to atone to and play to. Like it's different if you already got heat and you still broiling up heat. This is one of those like, bro, you spent 9 years talking crap about this company, about the people in this company. You have left a lot of bad taste in people's mouths. Like I still make fun of them and stuff like that, but I've learned that I let it go like fully and really when he apologized. Because I always didn't like him because you took your ball and went home when it got tough. And to me, that makes you lame. Mm-hmm. But you came back, you apologized for it, and and it seems like you have grown and you're trying to do better. And so just to see that you have someone like Sami Zayn that also don't mess with you like that, because even seeing like the handshake they had when he first walked up before he came out, it was like, all right, cool. Like, like we not friends, but yeah, like, we good. We good.
Yeah, that was interesting. So, which would lead us to a match with Seth and Sami Zayn later in the night, which we'll get to. First action of the night we had after seeing Finn pretty much still being the bossy member of Judgment Day, telling people what to do, which we'll have more on Finn in a little bit. We got Io Sky and Kairi Sane of Damage Control taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. And I had to eat crow on this. I'm not going to lie. During the stream, I said, we have completely botched Raquel Rodriguez because nobody don't care. And she picks up the win. After taking, hey, and Cinderella was in there. Kyrie saying got better back fist than Oscar too. She wasn't there, but I want that on record.
Why?
Them back fists was fucking Raquel up before that choke slam. I just want y'all to know that's on record. We saw it. We saw it.
The beef never ends.
We saw it. So like I don't like that Kyrie took that pin, but I can understand why EO cannot take that pin.
Wait, but, no, I thought Tito took the pin.
No, it was Kyrie.
Was it?
EO jumped on did a suicide dive to live on the outside. Kyrie was a legal woman. She was taking it to Raquel at first, spinning back fist, looking really strong there. Then Raquel kind of powered out. What's it called? Chingona bomb, and then she pinned Kyrie. And then what happened next was we got Raquel and EO pretty much jumping EO and Kyrie after the match, which prompted Rhea to come out. Rhea goes after Liv. She gets tangled up with Raquel, goes to the outside. They try to jump Rhea. Rhea gets the upper hand, and then Raquel, and this is like a very underrated spot here, she throws Rhea onto the edge of the commentator's table, right on the orbital bone, right on that sharp part, kind of like stubbing your toe on your box frame, something like that. You don't want that to happen.
No.
Good spot. Effectively takes Rhea out. I thought Rhea would be out for weeks. Apparently, we're now getting Rhea versus Raquel next week on Monday Night Raw. What did you think about this overall? We're still doing the whole Rhea chasing Liv thing. We know that EO is going to get her title shot at Saturday Night Main Event on the 14th. Rhea would then see EO and Kyrie backstage and said, no matter who's the champion after Saturday Night Main Event, I'm coming for the belt. So we got some storylines there, but this is where we're at with the women's title.
I hate to say this, man. Rhea's starting to turn into Hulk Hogan. We're starting to get a little shades of the Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
You're doing too much. Let me not say if that's on Lit. Let me not say that that's on Rhea. That might be from creative, but it's like, why do y'all keep she does not need to be in the title picture to still be relevant. People are still going to cheer for this woman. Like, what I thought it was going to be was we start seeing the beef between her and Raquel Rodriguez. And I'm like, okay, that's setting us up right there because they was killing it on NXT. So it's like, yes, let's bring that back. But now to know, like, I'm coming for the title, it's like, yo, there's so many other women that could be getting a title shot. Why do we keep trying to go give it to Rhea? Can you please let some other women hold this belt and get their shine on? You can still make it to WrestleMania and have a match. You do not need to be in the title picture.
I would love it if Rhea was actually the person to take out Jade. Just throw me a complete curveball.
You know, we did not talk about that, but that says a lot. Who?
Oh yeah, Bianca wasn't even on Raw tonight. Nobody. No Bianca, no Bayley, no Naomi. So I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually okay with spacing that storyline out a little bit because now it allows your women's champion to feel like a prominent part of the show. Because you're telling a few storylines with Liv Morgan right now. It's whatever is going on with the internal turmoil, with Judgment Day, with Finn kind of bossing people around, saying like, hey, if you listen to me, you'll keep winning, you'll retain your titles and stuff like this. And also like just the chase with Rhea. But no, I think we are heading to like maybe a longer feud with Liv and with Rhea and Raquel. But I'm curious, like, what percentage of a chance are we giving EO to actually upset and win against Liv?
Here's the thing. EO has only been a babyface for a minute, and you've had her in this like tag team division thing with Kyrie. So I'm hitting a 40%. I'm hitting a 40%.
Bo's is saying 70 because, to your point, Liv and Rhea no longer needs a title. What if that's the hard reset right there? with Rhea costing Liv the belt, and now you got EO and a different like treasure chest of challengers. I think you can get by there for a couple months. Maybe she drops it in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, but here's the only thing with that. We had that already at WrestleMania. They're not gonna have that go 2 in a row with EO as champion. And there's not enough time to build up enough hype to get her to WrestleMania for people to be excited for her match. Like, she still needs time to develop and cook. Like, I like seeing EO not only as a face, but I like seeing EO in matches. I like seeing people cheering for her. I like seeing people see the potential that EO is, but I think it's just a little too soon to pull the trigger on putting the belt on her just yet, especially since, like, really, if you think about it, she's only not had it for what, 8 months now? She just lost it at Mania.
Yeah, she just lost at Mania. But was just saying that Liv has had 7.5 months. Has it been that long for Liv?
Yeah, because she won it at Night of Champions right after WrestleMania.
Okay.
But that's the thing too. Liv has not got her WrestleMania moment as a champion. Like, she's always been the one to come close to it, always been the bridesmaid. Like, for her to be 4 months away from being one of the headliners of WrestleMania, it's like I don't see them building all of that up for her to be taking it off of EO. Like to Taekwon Mills. Like, would it be cool to see EO as champion? Absolutely. But we about to hit the road to WrestleMania. And right now, Liv is still in the hottest story right now, circulating with that belt.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, we know Liv defends against EO next week. Rhea has Raquel on Raw next week. Speaking of people getting their moments, we got our first triple threat of the Women's Intercontinental Tournament featuring Katana Chance, Dakota Kai, and Shayna Baszler, who still is an active competitor on the roster, in case you were wondering. I like this match a lot. I thought it was weird. I know we're doing the PFC Pure Fusion Collection thing where they wear all black. We really got to get Shayna back to Queen of Spades because she don't even wear her gear no more. We have completely dumbed her down. But the match was good. I like the match, and I thought they spaced it out. I like how, I mean, they be playing in my face because in NXT, Dakota Kai was petrified of Shayna Baszler. Mm-hmm. Now she be kicking her ass. I'm okay. That's character growth right there. I thought they did well with Katana Chance showing what she can do in the ring, and I was actually really pulling for Katana because I think that would be an interesting swerve there if she was to win. But I think everybody's favorite in this tournament is probably Dakota Kai. She picks up the pin by hitting the go-to kick on Katana Chance after eliminating Shayna from the match with a 450. I thought that was good storytelling too. The fact that you kind of keep Shayna strong by her not taking the pin and Dakota Kai picking up the win. What do you think of the match? How do you feel about Dakota Kai advancing in the tournament? I think the next bracket, I believe it was Raquel, Zoe Stark, and Kaden Carter would be next up for her to face. Yeah,
I like it. I think it's Dakota's kind of time to get that shine. I just pray that she remains healthy, that knee stays intact. That's my only concern really for her. But if it's good, if it's strong, like I think it was a great win. I think it was also very smart to not make Shayna take the pin. Like you said, like, you know, we be rooting for her, but I can't sit here and knock that Mayor don't be lying when it's like all she doing is taking L's. And I'm like, you can't fight that when you keep losing. And so I was glad to see that it wasn't her that got the pin and Dakota picked it up. But I really feel in that next triple threat match, we're probably going to have Zoe Stark pick up the win in that triple threat match. I think we might get Rhea to interfere against Raquel and mess her chances up. And then we have Zoe Stark go in because Zoe Stark really is that sleeper in that group. And I think her to go up against Dakota Kai would be great, but I think we'll see Dakota Kai take it to the finals.
Okay. And what about the other side? The other side is very intriguing to me.
That's
the other side is the side where I was like, damn, that's tough.
That side tough. Because you got what? Valkyria, Ivy Niles, and Zelina Vega in one match.
Then
And
Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natalia. And
I told you Alba Fire was coming in there. I think Alba Fire gonna pick that one up.
I would love to see Alba Fire make the finals, but I think you can make a strong case for. Oh man, you really can make a strong case for Zelina.
Zelina and Lyra, both of them.
I think if I'm looking at those three though, I know people have been on the train about Zelina needing it. Ivy now needs that.
Ivy now do need that.
American made got to be something worth a damn at some point.
And then here's my thing too, because dang, that also be interesting if it is down to the two of them. Because Zoe and I mean not Zoe, Zelina and Dakota do their own podcast together. And so it's just it's just like, yo, imagine them fighting in the finals for the Intercontinental Championship.
Taekwon and Vitalia wins, you might not see me for a while because I'll have nothing.
Wait, is Vitalia in it?
She's in the bracket with Alba Fire and
that. Honey made that. This is Honey's fault. This is all Honey's fault. She made that happen.
Boy, you talk about legitimacy. If Natalia win that goddamn match against Alba Fire, if I see a sharpshooter finish a match,
oh, it's done. I'm done. And who's the other one? Alba Fire and who else?
It's Alba Fire, Kairi Sane, and Natalia. That's the triple threat.
I'm not gonna lie, we might get the same ending we got tonight. Kairi hit with the insane elbow, and then Alba Fire take the advantage and get the pin.
Probably, yeah.
We might get that same ending.
Because we haven't seen them. I mean, I know they've probably been in the speed tournament, maybe on main event, and it sucks that Isla Dawn is not on the other side in the tournament. But I mean, longest reigning NXT UK Women's Champion means something.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten. It means a different name, different alias, but it means something. So you got to give her.
That's why I say I can see her going to the semifinals, and then because as much as I want, I know Ivy Niles deserved it, so I'm not counting her out. Mm-hmm. But we know my two favorites are Lyra and then Zelina, and out of the two of them taking on Alba Fire, it's like who is gonna give the better showing, and I still can't decide against Alba Fire because Zelina gonna put on the show and Lyra is gonna put on the show.
The styles in this make it so intriguing. Like I would be cool seeing Dakota versus Kairi in the finals, just like on some competitive type stuff. But I mean, it's really a toss up. It's really hard to pick. Taekwon says the Heart IC title legacy, which we've talked about on this platform, and I'm gonna let you know right now. I don't care.
One's here. None of us.
I don't care. She needs to have a different identity than I'm a Heart.
Yeah,
it's taking too long.
We understand it. We still don't support it. We do not support it. But you know what it is, though? I think Lyra is going to be the first one crowned as champion. And the only reason why I say that, off of the logic, Zelina won Queen of the Ring. And she was the first ever Queen of the Ring. So I could see them letting someone else be the first of this.
Sure. And Lyra was in the finals of Queen of the Ring against Nia.
Yeah. And so, and then when we look at both of them, and that's when we start getting realistic. And again, this means just process of elimination. I could see them strapping it to Lyra because of the promo work I've been seeing them do with her and the little vignettes they do with Lyra, and because she's so behind the crowd. But then also, too, and the reason why I would say you may not give it to Dakota is because of due to injury. Because she's so injury prone, it's like, is that the first person you want as your title holder? So it's just not to say that she wouldn't be a great champion, but it's just you're very much gambling the chance, because if we crown her at January's Raw when they on Netflix, and then she's supposed to come face WrestleMania, and then let's say, God forbid or heaven forbid, something happens and she can't do it now. Yeah.
And then it is the workhorse title of the women's division. So you can get by with just having strong matches and less promo work. And I think that was the problem with Lyra's NXT women's title run, is that the character work was far behind the in-ring work. So I can see it. I can see it.
I think Lyra.
Lyra, Hopefully, we might get a Lyra and Alba just off some NXT UK nostalgia. If I'm
I
being
would love to
honest.
see that. I would love to see that on Raw. That would be a match to see. But I still, it's the thing is, just like the U.S. Championship title. Well, no, I can't say it like that. With this one, every one of these women deserve to be the inaugural Women's Intercontinental Champion. Ain't none of it lost on any of them. The U.S. Championship, cool. You got Bayley and stuff in there. You know, no offense to Bayley, but it's like, man, you've been a champion. You had your moments. Let somebody else get that. This one is like, man, I want all of y'all to win. But the one at that bottom is definitely Natalia. Just so we get that clip.
Yeah, 100%. King Mike Hall says we ain't got one melanated singles title holder. We got to get one. And I'm here to tell you right now on this stream, Shinsuke White Chocolate.
I'm about to say Shinsuke be at the barbecue. I was about to say
White Chocolate. We got it. We got it on Saturday.
I was about to say. And and I'm sure
give a Shinsuke a pass.
And one of the Motor City Machine Guns got to have a black wife. One of them. One of them look like they dipping in chocolate. One of them, yeah.
Take your pick. Take your pick.
Yeah.
So I don't know where I want to go next. Real quick, I want to spend some time on the New Day stuff. So I'm gonna brisk over a couple other segments. Karrion Kross replying to the message from Uncle Howdy last week. We get the 8-man tag between the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament and the Miz next week. Karrion Kross been spitting some gospel.
Yes.
And he's always Karrion Kross Twitter finger strong as fuck, because as soon as the New Day had their thing, he said, "Hey, happy you saw your New Day." Drew McIntyre, he tweeted out some few days ago about Drew McIntyre saying, "Don't let the devil win." Who we see at the end of the show, Drew McIntyre. So we get that match next week. It'll be on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if we're gonna have commercial free or anything like that. How do we feel about the storyline between the Wyatt Six and the Final Testament? I don't think that'll be a final story this chapter, but really, Kross is making this whole rivalry survive with his promo work and his social work, and it's very admirable.
Yeah, I was about to, and I was going to ask you a question with that, because of how much it's been going and because of how well this rivalry is going. Do you think it may be a little bit of a rush that they're doing the 8-man tag next week? Like, I feel like that match could have been pushed to something else. Like, I would have loved to see like maybe AOP versus Eric Rowan and any one of them.
Okay. And maybe they're doing it because they're trying to I think they're spacing it out. Like, we don't see them on TV every week, which is good. But I think you're getting it on Raw because there is no PLE this month. And then Saturday Night Main Event on network television, you probably want to make it feel a throwback. So I think all the like the spectacle type gimmicks like both of those factions bring, maybe you don't want to do that on network television.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, honestly, this is our second announcement to TK that we need them tickets. I really think the final showdown is that Netflix episode.
Yeah. Oh, like a Karrion Kross versus Bo?
Or just something cinematic.
Okay.
Something cinematic for like a 30-minute block.
I would not mind cinematic. Like, yo, and imagine if that's how he rebuilds the funhouse through Karrion. That'd be yeah.
That'll be a 3-hour Raw. So I think we'll get some type of 30-minute block of that on the first Netflix show, because like they're spacing it out enough to where something's got to give there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I might as well throw my prediction out right now. I think the Final Testament win next week. For that reason alone.
Oof. I was sitting here I don't think we're gonna get a winner. I don't even think. I think they're just gonna keep breaking out in the fights, and it's gonna never get to the ring.
I think Scarlett's gonna tip the scales to make the Final Testament win in some form or fashion.
That's the one-on-one I want. Scarlett versus Nikki. Give me that.
Eventually, they got to do that.
Yeah, but I'm enjoying.
Or at least let them. If we go this far, at least let them like fight in the Rumble somehow.
We need something, yo. Like, you can't give us that and ain't no retaliation from Scarlett. Like, nah, She want to mess with the Scarlet Witch. Like, no, I got something for you, little sister Abigail. Like, that's too much right there for us to not see.
Mm-hmm.
Them two, like them, basically two kind of like power entities. Like, nah, man, you gotta let us see that.
Yeah, they got to do it. They got to do it. Next segment, I want to kind of gloss over. We did get our world champion on programming. He had a match with Dominic Mysterio. He was victorious against Dominic Mysterio. But we saw, I guess, he top 5. Finn top 5 in the hater of the year voting. He came out, attacked going throughout the match. I love that we getting spam coup de grace since the tsunami's not here for a period of time. Love that. I wish he would have did 5, but I'll take 3. So he tells Dom, hey, that's how it's done, kid. And we're still seeing that riff right there. We're telling multiple storylines. Don't like that we're making Gunther weak. I still don't agree with whatever trajectory we're on right now. But he goes and asks for a title shot, and he gets it. Mm-hmm. Saturday Night Main Event. We're going to get Gunther, Finn Balor.
Yeah.
It's going to have some Damian Priest influence somewhere. But what do you think we're doing there?
I think what you just said. I think it's gonna be something that was also mentioned in there is that he will be probably most likely be defending his tag titles before we get to Saturday Night Main Event. I think that's when we see the return of Damian Priest, cost him the title, and then or may not, and then just hold that off till Saturday Night Main Event, and then cost Finn his title. And I think that's going to lead into like triple threat action between him, Finn, and Gunther at the Rumble or something like that. So then that way, at least you're keeping Gunther busy and stuff. And so I agree with you on the strengthening thing, but I didn't see it more as Gunther getting weak, more as them trying to strengthen Finn Balor a little bit more.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't like it because I can see that. We haven't seen Gunther sitting here ailing in pain much over the past 2 years.
Nah, I haven't either. But also, too, I think showing that development of the character is something we need to see. We're just maybe slightly a little bit uncomfortable with it.
And then it's tying into Ludwig as well. We can talk about that Braun Breaker segment. He's like, hey, Gunther's stock is kind of down. You need to go ahead and just cut the cord.
Yeah.
That's telling.
That is telling.
So are we going to see a completely weakened ring general, like by himself, and that'd be the way he loses the belt?
No, I think what happens is I think you see a more vicious one because right now I don't have the strength on anyone can really beat Gunther head up. Mm-hmm. Like as much as we're seeing with this and like him not being as on point as he normally is, there's no one still that I think can beat him. As much as I saw Damian handing it to him at Survivor Series, I'm like, Gunther gonna choke you out.
Taekwon says, I think Gunther is booked so strong that he can take a weak moment. But here's why I'm okay with him being booked so strong. Here's why I'm okay with it. Because eventually you've led me to believe it's going to lead to a Goldberg match. You've led me to believe that. He said he won one final match in 2025. You've led me to believe that Goldberg is the entity that's going to make him look weak completely. So why are we doing this so early when you have, and I know Dion would love this. So what are we doing?
I mean, but that's also probably why they're making him look weak, to get him ready for Goldberg. Okay. There's also that.
Yeah. Maybe the vicious side comes in. I think he beats Finn with like something. Thing I love about Gunther is that we don't know how he's going to finish matches. Sometimes he chokes somebody out. Sometimes it's a power bomb. Sometimes it's an aggressive ass chop to the front or the back. Sometimes he clothesline from hell you. It's just vicious. Yeah. And I think that's what we're going to get against Finn Balor. But I think to your point, what's going to allow that vicious to come out is that people keep interfering in his one-on-one fades. It's going to be like, yo, like, I don't need no help to win no matches.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing that we haven't seen from Gunther is Gunther not be so stoic. Like normally when you sing Gunther has a very stoic feel to him. When he moves about, he's very calculated with his moves. He moves at his certain pace. We've never seen him fight emotionally.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so that's the next stage that we got to see of like what happens when your cage gets rattled. What happens when like, yo, you got the target on your back, so now everybody coming for you. And this ain't NXT UK where everybody is sitting at your chest. You got Damian Priest, you got Finn Balor's, who are all of them little guys put together. They learned that's his kids that you fought. Now you fighting they daddy in Finn. So it's like now we get to see like what is this next phase of Gunther that he'll have to enter into to hold on to. And I think it's gonna be something that we ain't seen yet. But I think we're now getting to a point where if you take out all of the other Judgment Day stuff like Dominic, Carlito, JD and stuff, and you leave it to these three, I think these three will bring the best out of each other. And I think it'll put Finn back into us seriously taking him as a world title holder.
Yeah, I can see that. I like that a lot too.
But I gotta ask you this though. I gotta ask you this before we move on real quick. I just want to get your opinion. Now, the shot we saw in the Judgment Day locker room, I was talking and I was like, yo, notice how it looked like one of the magazine covers where it got the rip right in the middle, and you see where the two new factions are going. Ooh. Did you see that, or was it just me?
I didn't see it. I got to go back and peep it out now.
They were very it didn't look cohesive. Like you had Finn, JD, and Carlito on one side, space, then Liv, Dominic, and Raquel.
They do very good at throwing stuff in the background like that too for you to notice.
Yeah. And also, before we move on, fuck you, JD McDonough. Screw you, okay? You're talking about it there. You didn't hear about the end of that segment? This man say, let me defend my tag titles. And then grab the game controller. I was like, yo, you filed for that. You filed for that.
Also, I mean, I think we're leading toward, if it's a split, it makes, if they do split, I don't know why. Dom's the one that brought Carlito into Judgment Day. I didn't forget that.
But he's been hanging out with Finn and Carlito. So it's like, and I feel like it's Dominic that's gonna be the rift between breaking them up. Because if you think about it, Liv and Raquel are in the New Day because of Dom. That's so you have those two right there. And so it's just like, okay, when Finn decides he wants to split, because even look how he's talking to Mysterio. I mean, to Dominic. He's talking to Dominic a little bit. Yeah, and he's talking to him
Dom's gonna be in the bottom four of the Royal Rumble.
Oh yeah,
Dom's gonna be in that final four.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dominic is gonna shine. We have so many people that's gonna shine at the Royal Rumble. It's insane, and we kind of at the point too where I think you said it or somebody said it on the panel of like even from the women's Royal Rumble, we're not gonna need no surprises or vets in this. Like we have so many people doing stuff right now. Like the current roster could fill out all 30.
Yep. Only vet in the women's roster that is probably like welcome is probably like Trish.
That's it. Yeah. Or Michelle McCool again.
Yeah. Cause Trish still got story with Zoe. If you want to run that back or just the fact that she gave us a full run before. So I like that. I guess we can, before we go to New Day, really quick, R-Truth and Pete Dunne. They had a match tonight. R-Truth picked up another win against Pete Dunne, but we're doing this thing, and I spoke about it on the stream that, like, we're taking steps backwards with Pete Dunne, man, because he didn't got away from the name, and now we're keeping the name around, and it's like, he really needed that win against Sheamus to end that rivalry, and he didn't get it, and now he's sitting here obsessing over R-Truth, still confusing him with Butch. Yeah. And now he's losing to R-Truth. What are we doing?
And he didn't. And they didn't let him stay in NXT. I don't know. I don't know about that one, man. Like, I don't even yeah, bro. I don't know what's going on with Pete Dunne. Like, and it's not like there's not a spot for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially now with the whole Ludwig Sheamus thing, it's like, all right, y'all could have put Pete Dunne in that title picture too. Then, like, we could have had a Fatal 4-Way in Survivor Series, and it would have made sense. It's like
you could have had Pete Dunne in Deadline this weekend, and nobody would have batted an eye.
Yeah, but I think too, it's like the line of like where you know who's about to come up, who's kind of next. And the only bad part about it is that Pete Dunne is in a position where he's at a time where so many people are coming back, and it's like, okay, I still got my ticket, and I'm finna go ahead and pull it so I can get my shit. Because if he was on SmackDown, it would be the same thing. And then it's like, okay, we can't make you U.S. champ because Shinsuke's coming back, and we got to make Shinsuke that. We can't make you Intercontinental champion because we got Braun Breaker as Intercontinental champion, and so we can't really move you up to those things. So it's just like, okay. And then Tyler Bates is still injured. So you can't have
and Bate needs to go back to NXT.
Yeah, he needs to say
not because he can't survive on main roster, it's because people have forgotten who he was.
I need him to be NXT champion before he comes back up.
Yeah.
I need him to take that belt.
And we need more respect on Big Strong Boy and not him just being like a hippie. Like,
yeah. And the same thing the Pete Dunne part. I need you to be the bruiserweight. Like, I really need you to not talk no more. Like, I really like the whole, like, when he didn't say nothing, went out, did his thing. And it's like, you don't get a chance to see that. And so, he's just kind of drifting right now.
Yeah. And it sucks. But I think Triple H has a plan for all of these, like, past NXT greats. So hopefully it, God bless R-Truth for just getting the spots he's getting. So I think something good will come of it.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's just like something brutal that Pete Dunne does and makes you remember, like, oh, this is who this guy is.
You know what's going to happen? They're going to become a tag team. They're going to become a tag team. Watch.
No, that's prototypical. I'm not going to lie. That's very prototypical of the company.
They are gonna make them a tag team.
He gonna keep calling him Butch accidentally, but they're gonna be the best of friends. Yeah, I can see that.
Be like, Butch, you seen Pete? We got a tag team match tonight, and I can't find him nowhere.
Yep.
Yep.
I can see it. That's terrible. That is terrible. And it's gonna happen. Give it till February. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. I'm telling y'all.
All right, we'll talk about the main event and the surprise return we got the main event, but we got to talk about the middle of this show, which was our 10-year anniversary of the New Day, which I feel like I saw it coming, but I saw it coming this way. I thought it would be a little bit more violent, but I really like what they did here. We took a walk down memory lane. You saw and I love how they had that's like stuff. If there ever becomes like I think there is like actual Hall of Fame you can visit for WWE. I know there's some places you can visit. The Bootios box, the crown, the large Bootio, the robe, like all these different memorabilia they had over the years of these 10 years in the ring, the unicorn helmets, things like that, the merch, all these things that you remember from the New Day were present. And then, of course, Pierce sets them up where you can say where the crowd yells, New Day rocks. We're cheering. We're taking a walk down memory lane. And it seems like I guess we got a double heel turn because it seems like Woods and Kofi were ready to announce that they decided to go their separate ways amicably. Like, hey, we appreciate all the memories, but we decided the best thing for us to go our separate ways. Big E's music hits. I know he's getting some bullshit because we got Wale Big E and not him doing the Don't You Dare Be Sour bit. I thought if we did that, everybody would got out their seat. We got Big E's singles music, and we got corporate Big E. That's WWE pre-show Big E in the suit, low energy and all that type of stuff. And it was cool that he said, like, hey, like, I'm not going to let you guys say such bad things about each other because you guys love each other and we've been through so much. He says, I'm going to be here every week. I'm going to be your manager to remind you guys who you are. And I thought it was all good for a moment. I'm like, you know what? I can get with that. Again, Big E was corporate Big E, low energy. He wouldn't Wasn't no hip swiveling, wasn't no dancing around. He was uptight, serious. And Woods and Kofi kind of say, no, where you been this whole time? It was your fault that we kind of are in this rut right now. We're fighting each other because you could have came back alone. They brought up his real life girlfriend and said, hey, you chose your new life
shots
over us.
Fired. You went and took a desk job.
Yeah, it said it was always supposed to be for the better of the group. We versus me. And you chose you. Kofi said, you broke your neck. So what?
Stone broke his neck and he came back. I was like,
Stone Cold, Edge. He listed off people that broke their neck and still performed. They said, E, if you really want, he said, as big and strong as you are, if you really want to come back, you could.
He said, you didn't have to have surgery on your neck.
He said, he said, my Achilles fell off the bone. What's your issue?
I was like, they was going in with that one.
This shit was low-key funny because I know they probably talked to each other about this beforehand and probably was laughing about what they was going to say to each other. But like, these are some scathing words they said to Big E, and Big E had to eat it. He said, this really what y'all want. This how y'all feel after 10 years. Then what got me is Big E said, you know what? I hear you. I can be wrong, but like, I'm not going to let you do this. I'm not going to let you break us up like this. When Kofi put that arm out and said, no, I don't want a hug, I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah.
They mad. They real mad.
Yeah.
So we got, oh, man, I think this is the first time in probably like 8 years that the New Day got booed voluntarily.
Yeah.
Me personally, I love it. I love it because they did this in a pragmatic and tasteful way. I honestly thought that they were going to like really write E off completely. Like they was going to whoop his ass. Like, hey, we're going to do something so ruthless that this man with a broken neck that can't perform is going to actually get further hurt to further dead in the New Day. But they just had a war of words. And, you know, you can apologize for words down the road. It's like, hey, I was mad. I didn't have a Snickers that day. So that's what they did. And E left the ring, and you see a united front of the New Day. So what I love about this is that the New Day didn't break up.
Yeah.
There was no breakup. So you can still say they're the longest tenured faction. They didn't break up. They'll probably start actually winning matches more and actually have their edge back. Meanwhile, I don't know. I'll get your thoughts on this. I think that it's Woods saying, like, let's be honest, like, you're not getting cleared. Some people think that they're leaving it in the air. I think that was like, hey, we ripping the Band-Aid off, stop having hope.
Yeah.
This is Daniel Bryan again. Like, hey, bro, like you doing good, but we not clearing you. We not doing it. It goes against our policy to let you wrestle again. That's how I felt. So if there's a glimmer of chance, maybe sometime down the road, but right now, answer is no.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad you felt that way about this segment. If I'm being honest, thought it could have been better. Not what was talked about. I do not think that they were celebrated well enough.
Fair.
I do not think for someone who has been in a group together consistently for 10 years, they were celebrated the way that they need to be celebrated. One, that should have closed the show. Not Seth and Drew McIntyre. That could have been second to last. Another thing, in this 2-hour span of programming, we could have had several moments between matches giving us some of our favorite New Day clips. And we didn't get that. We didn't even get anyone telling us, hey, you know, congratulations to the New Day celebrating 10 years. It was kind of just like, oh, we're going to go to Party Zone and then get some of your stuff out of storage, and then we're going to let y'all do a segment.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like for me. And it was just like, yo, like it wasn't really as decorated as it could be. Where are the fireworks? Like, where are the little things dropping? All of that stuff. Where were the pancakes?
There's pancakes there.
Were they? Okay. I may have just missed the pancakes.
Because like when Woods and Kofi first came in the ring, Kofi went to the corner and grabbed pancakes and started flipping them. And Woods started doing the same thing.
But even to your point, like hearing Big E do the call would have made that crowd stand the hell up. If you'd have just heard, oh, and it'd have been like, yo, this would have been it. I don't need him to be in the attire, but it's like, I really wanted that energy because of how they delivered what they said would have made it hit even harder. And I would have loved for them to, but I would have still loved to have seen that. Maybe even get a little bit more aggressive with Big E. Like, I wouldn't mind even a sip. Like, bro, I like what I told you. Get your ass out this ring. And it's like, dang, bro. It's like that.
That's kind of what it was. I say you can leave, go back to work and stuff like that. To the point that Chris Yim is live tweeting this, like, "Oh, we bought a house together. We was gonna have you over for dinner, and I was gonna have Kofi's vegan shit and Wood's chicken nuggets. But now that all bets are off."
Yep, we done. That's why I was like, I feel like that should have been the closer. Like, that should have really been something. Yeah, like, where it's because especially to go from it was we now it's us. Like, that's a huge big thing to say. We're no longer we, it's us now. And I thought that would have been cool. But I was like, yo, I feel like they deserved a lot more than that. Like, I feel like you should have like presented them like custom New Day tag team titles, and that could have went on the shop for us to buy. Like
they do have a 10-year anniversary T-shirt, and they did have the old school copper tag team belts, but they definitely missed a marketing opportunity. But maybe they didn't do that because they knew it was going to be such a drastic turn of events.
But that makes a drastic turn even more, because it's like, okay, let me get this before everything switch up. Because if we look at like how they're doing now, even with what they come out to this very like playful Mario like game stuff. Imagine the flip when we go to like the dark video game characters and stuff like that, and the tone didn't change. To what
you think they're gonna change the music?
I think it is. I think it's gonna be. It'll still be like it's a new day. Yes, it is, but it's gonna be said a little bit differently, and it's gonna give us them dark graphics like Metroid Prime or something like that. Like they might. Because if you notice, look how they was dressed. Both of them were dressed the same. And if you a fan of like comic books, they were dressed like Goku Black. Like with the gray, the red on, and the black, they were literally dressing like Goku Black. They looked like they were straight out of Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. And so I just feel like for 10 years of memories that those three men have given us, I feel like they deserve better. I'm not gonna say who did it or what. It could be the fact that it was because it was 2 hours. Maybe they didn't get a chance to do everything, but I felt like they deserve way more for someone who's been in this for 10 years. And it felt like their segment felt like kind of 6 seconds. That's what it felt like. 6 seconds. We're going to acknowledge y'all, but we got to keep it moving because Drew McIntyre got to come kick Sami Zayn in the face.
Wow. So to that point, let me ask you this then. Since we saw that, there are some people that I've read on Twitter already that think that the door is still open, that them not attacking E. See, I feel like them not attacking E is like, hey, we don't want to jeopardize what's already messed up, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a glimmer of hope or a chance that, yes, Big E is hurt, yes, the New Day will get booed, but that he'll still keep chasing the Brotherhood as far as like, no, let me mentor you guys. Let me bring back the New Day. I should have been here for you guys. I'm here now. Do you think that'll happen?
I think it could, but I think it's going to happen in a way of them firing shots at him. I think once they switch up and they go and now that they're full heel, I think you'll hear them talk more about their grievances and talk about it. And I think they're going to keep doing that to irritate him and stuff, especially because Big E can't do anything. And saying like, we can say this because we know he can't do nothing. He can't step in this ring, even to some points, like coming into his pre-show when they're talking about whatever match they got. And it's like, yeah, what you got to say to us? And just going at it. And then, like I can either see him, like them in the Royal Rumble, and it's the two of them, and then Big E music hits. And he's the next entrant, and he eliminates them from the Royal Rumble, and then make sure he eliminates them in a way where Coffee can't bounce back. That's the only way I can see it if he really can be cleared to come and wrestle again.
Yeah, they made that man feel low. They said so that said, hey, go be a family man. This game ain't for you no more, bro.
I was like, I wish he'd have played it like it was real life. Like, y'all gonna get mad at me because I went got a woman? Y'all married. Like, what? How y'all gonna get mad at me? Go find somebody. Kofi, you got kids. Like, what? Why y'all gonna get mad at me about that?
They made it real. The fact that he was in his neck brace, and then they brought Kofi's newborn daughter to him and stuff like that. Them being bedside him the whole time. So they're mad at E. Do you think? I like the Royal Rumble thing. I had a thought that maybe. I had a thought that maybe like even this turn, like they have an edge for a little while, but they still keep losing. They still keep losing. They keep hitting rock bottom. I don't know what rock bottom is for them as a tag team. But that E is still there with open arms. Like, I got you guys. We can do this together the right way.
The only way that can happen is if their tag team moves don't change. If we see like a dramatic change and we see like the dark unicorn or something like that, and things change up in their move sake, then I can see it to where it's like, okay, y'all gonna be winning. But if y'all still doing the same stuff y'all normally do, then yeah, I can see the loss coming. But I think if you're gonna really like switch up, and again too, it just depends on what these new personas are. Like if y'all finna still do like how y'all did the first time, like y'all still the positivity thing, but y'all booing us, and it's like, no, it's not our fault. It's like, don't do that. Don't do that. Go it change the whole layout.
You want them to lean into the negativity.
Yeah, no more bright colors. I want anti-Woods and anti-Kofi. Since y'all look from the south.
Want monochrome. You want monochrome tones where it's like, hey, we not colors of the rainbow no more. Black and white.
Yep.
This is what you get.
I want y'all going to the evil stuff. I want y'all dressing like anime villains. Now,
well, to the credit of that, do you think that's why I feel like there's a chance that Big E can still chase them to say, like, no, this is us, man. This is what made us successful. I'm here. Like, I don't know.
No, but I think doing that could help. Like, I think you gotta because the thing is, you gotta let these cats hit rock bottom, because something that Professor said in today's live made a lot of sense of. They will tether away if they're not together. And that's very true. If we're just being honest, that is very true. So now that it is like that, let us see that next chapter and what the New Day looked like. Because we went from the gospel thing, and then we went to the video games, and the characters and the anime. So now it's like, what is this next step with y'all as heels?
I know one thing for sure, two things for certain. Ava Hickenbottom, if you got Ridge Holland booked on your program tomorrow, scrap the segment. Scrap the segment. Well, it's not gonna be the type of booze that's like real heel heat. You might get some slurs in there.
Actually, this might be the perfect time for Ridge to have a promo. It's the be like, listen, because if he gotta say it now. He gotta say it. If like, yo, he gotta say something. If he really want to like fully push this heel thing and be like, hey, saw what happened to the New Day Monday. You're welcome. Yo, and just leave it at that. Yo, that's gonna raise Ridge up. That's gonna raise Ridge up.
So that's such a Karrion Kross thing to do. And it will make sense because of him trying to pry Woods from the New Day. But I mean, this is the result of, I feel like this has been going on for like 4 or 5 months. This like slow burn of like whatever's going to happen with the New Day. So we'll see next week what happens with how they show up. Because I don't think the tag team titles are. I don't think it makes sense for them right now because they're on Finn and JD.
So here's my question though: do they need to show up next week?
No, I think you can let it burn.
I think you can.
I think you can let it burn for like a week because we know we're gonna get some pre-tape shows, some Christmas look backs of the year to close this year out. I think you can let it chill, and then maybe you can have them make an appearance, like you said, kind of bad mouthing E, saying like, hey, they're right to feel the way they did, and then you really wait to that Netflix episode to really launch this, whatever it's going to be. Because to your credit, if there's some underlying way that Big E is low key cleared, because the way they was taking shots at him, saying like, you can't. If you could, you should and you would. You too big to be that weak.
And like he said, let's rip the Band-Aid off. You ain't never coming back. Go back to your desk. Like,
because the first thing Big E said was like, I'm gonna be your manager until I'm medically cleared.
Yep.
And it was like, so that leaves out, I can see where people are gonna be in their mind and be like, oh, that's hope, because he said until, but then to Woods and Kofi's credit, it's like, well, you could have did this months ago. Why now? Why in the 10-year anniversary? So I didn't mind the segment because it makes a lot of sense.
I did not see that coming when he said that. He was like, no, now you want to come? Like, oh shit, here we go.
See, I thought they were going to attack him. I'm glad they didn't attack him, but I like the fact that it's like you could have been our manager months ago.
It's real brother type stuff, and that's what I liked about it. They didn't over exaggerate it because
it didn't need to come to blows. That's what I'm saying.
It did because we haven't seen them argue. If you think about it, we've never seen them argue before. We've never seen them disagree with one another. So for them to be like, oh, it's 10 years, like they need to break it. Like, no, like these dudes are a family. Like this is the first time we've seen like the family have an issue. Mm-hmm. And legitimate issues at that, because to Xavier's point is what he said. He was like, yo, like you could have been came back. You could have been said something like the fact that you've kept us these last couple of years of touring and people going like, yo, we miss E every time we hear signing, making appearances. And you could have been said something. And you didn't say
that's
nothing.
Wild that they said that was the first time E's been on Raw in 4 years.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a minute. That you could see that when he was coming down the ramp, like this. It has been a while since you've walked down the ramp and been in this type of position. It's true, and that's why it's like it says a lot about him, but also says like maybe there is that twinkling that he could come back in some way.
Yeah,
because if Adam and Daniel can do it, and Big E didn't need neck surgery for what he had. And
I'm not gonna say that because I don't know, because he said that the bone needs to like reformat or grow back or something. But I'll tell you, just to your credit, you're right about that, because whatever year that was, it wasn't 2019, it was 2018, and I think Edge was on a kickoff show and he speared Jinder Mahal. I was just like, what the hell was that?
Yep. I was like, what? And remember, they said that we saw his neck. It was like, yeah, you can't do this no more. We saw Edge's neck. We were like, Edge, you done. Like, yeah, you are done. And
so I'm pretty sure they're trying to work out safe ways if they can. But again, with the Players Tribune thing dropping and Big E dropping some real emotional, heavy stuff there, for them to do that to him, that is, to me, the perfect character shift.
Yeah. It just has to be it has to be a full steam ahead shift, though. I don't need a slow burn. Like, this is one of those, like, hey, keep them off TV for maybe 2 weeks. Then the next week come when we had Saturday Night Main Event. You see them in the backstage talking to
no up, down, down.
Yeah.
Let's make it real.
Yeah. Yeah. No up,
I don't know who they're going to attack, but they got to attack the
see, now what
scored a touchdown? Damn, I lost my fantasy by not playing the right people. Damn it.
But now let me ask you, what are the chances of the New Days are the ones that go up against Finn and JD for the titles?
I don't think that makes sense unless
you think it'll be War Raiders again?
I think it'd be War Raiders again, unless it's some type of triple threat tag, which eliminates one of the tag teams. Like maybe you can have a triple threat tag team championship match where maybe Priest costs Finn and JD the belts in some fashion, and the New Day cheat to beat the War Raiders, but Judgment Day don't actually take the pin. I think that would be logical if we get there that way, because I think it has to lead to them capturing gold again. Continue to build on the record.
So you want to hold it out?
Yeah.
Yeah. I do too. I remember him saying that we're gonna talk about like your other title defense, which for the tag team. So it's just like I'm curious as to what they might do.
Yeah, me too. And then to cap off Monday Night Raw, we got the match with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn, just off the war words we had earlier tonight. Pretty straightforward match. No Jey Uso to be found. We know Jey Uso got attacked earlier in the night during that Pete Dunne interview. Sami thought that Seth attacked Jey Uso, which I thought to myself, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense unless we go on hard swerve from who this Seth Rollins is. But Sami came in there with the smoke. He's still wearing Sami Uso gear. He still feels like he's a part of this bloodline, this OG bloodline, which to my disheartening, I need Sami and Kevin to cross paths backstage. Even if Kevin just looks at him up and down in the gear, because Kevin watches the product. He's the only wrestler in the program that watches the product. I want him to just look at Kevin or look at Sami, and Sami go for a hug or something, and Kevin just walks away. Like, I'm not doing this today. Something. You got to give me that, because
I'm not fooling with you. I'm not fooling with
you. Yeah.
We might get that at the Rumble though. We might get that at the Rumble.
It got to be next week in that main event. Kevin going against Cody. You remember when?
Oh, Saturday night? Yeah, I can see that happening that Saturday night.
Yeah, because you remember when Sami beat Gunther and Kevin was the last stop before Sami went out the ring? Yep. I need Sami to do that for Kevin and be there, and Kevin be like, no, and just hit the ring.
And that fuel him even more when he go out there for Cody.
Exactly. I need
you
that.
Ain't no different. You to say you just did the same thing he did. Like, man, forget you. Yeah,
but I mean, I thought it was a good match. I thought I saw a lot of the things I love from Sami Zayn. Sami was going to hit Rollins with a chair, opted against it just off some good guy type shit, and then Rollins steals a win. I thought Tessitore brought up an interesting stat that all time in WWE, Rollins is 5-1 versus Sami. Me personally, I think Sami needed this win more than Seth. I thought that would have added fuel to the fire, since Sami was kind of standing up for Jay and standing up for Punk. And, you know, I love that Sami be riding for the Usos so hard. I love that. You don't get to talk to Jey Uso that way. I love that. I don't know why. That's just so funny to me.
It's because Sami reminds you of – I'm sorry, but I'm going to say it. When you grew up with your friends and all of them look like you, but you got that one white boy that stay in the neighborhood, and he can't. They be like, no, y'all gotta let him play with y'all, man. He in y'all neighborhood too. You gotta let him play. And then he just think y'all so cool. So cool.
Sammy's like the girlfriend that stick up for you. Like, no, he ordered mashed potatoes. What the hell you doing?
He the one that will jump in the fight for you real quick. Be like, hey, you're not gonna talk to my friends like that. Hey, bro, that's like 6 of them. I need you to stop. I am glad you here. Stop before they beat you up. That's insane.
I love it. But now Seth steals a win. I think he tries to shake Sammy's hand. He leaves the ring, and then the big reveal of the night, which is why we didn't get the New Day segment closing the show, was a returning Drew McIntyre, who I didn't think we would actually see into the Royal Rumble. And he Claymore kicked Sammy, so you can now associate that Drew McIntyre attacked Jey Uso. Mm-hmm. Drew McIntyre attacked Sami Zayn. I don't know why he did that, other than the fact that outside of Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre watched the product. He knows like, hey, like, you guys did this stuff with the bloodline. It doesn't make sense to me. And I get that. Drew been spitting them bars for years.
You need the echo though. So it brings back to back storytelling. Because if you think about it, Drew was not finished with Jay before he sought the world title. He was like, yo, I'm not done with you. Like, you and me, there's still beef there. And so then he had the world title. Then he had the stuff with CM Punk. So now we're going back to that unfinished business of like, nah, I don't like y'all. And the fact that y'all went back.
because Drew was on the record saying like this is Jey Uso is part of the bloodline. He just changed who he is, and now you guys trust him. Drew was one of the first people to say that.
Yeah, so it's dope because it echoes the full bloodline story across Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Because if something is, it echoes of what those effects were. Because we seen what happened with the bloodline story now on SmackDown. You got Kevin Owens and Cody. So that was the ramifications of what was happening. So you need to see those same ramifications for your Raw stars, which is Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, and that person to be Drew McIntyre. And it gives Drew something to do.
Gives Drew something to do away from Punk. It seems like Seth is going to continue chasing Punk, and Punk's going to be very unbothered about Seth's advances. So I thought it was interesting. Albeit maybe unnecessary, but I mean, like you said, it gives Drew something to do. I don't think you could have kept him off TV too much longer past until like actual Royal Rumble.
Yeah, but it wasn't worth closing the show. I'm just gonna be honest. That was not a closing the show segment. Like it could have been the last match. We could have seen that and still been surprised, and then let the New Day close out. That's why I'm just like, I'm not gonna play the race card, but it felt very. They deserve more, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. They definitely deserve more, and they should have been, because especially like I don't know if they announced it, but how you promoted it to me, Mayor, had me very excited about it. Like this is a whole Raw dedicated to them, and I'm like, as it should be, yes. Like let's see this, and it was just like. One vignette and then they segment and then that was it.
And to your point, if it's legit been 4 years since Big E has been on Raw, come on, let's milk that a little bit.
How we don't milk that? Like how we don't at least get like where were they tonight? What city were they in?
Ooh, I think they're in Washington, somewhere in Washington.
Yeah, like how we don't get the Washington? Don't you know?
I think that might lend to the fact that maybe he really is going to start traveling and trying to beg for forgiveness, because like now that you're telling me your thoughts on this, it did feel like we left stuff on the table.
Yeah.
It did feel like it was kind of flat. Like I think they got their point across, but it felt like there could have been more there.
I feel like I feel like with so much that they have going on right now that it was like, I feel like creative didn't have enough time to really put the spin on that like they need. Because that was not only was that a very big moment, but it also again shows like what you feel about with the tag team division. Yeah. Because you're not working it. You're not working it well. You're not really working it at all. You know what I'm saying? You had the powerful War Raiders come back, be dominant, and then got to lose to Finn Balor and them by cheating. But then, like, we don't even see them on TV after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are we doing with the tag team division? This could have helped spark that even more in the tag team division of seeing them go like this. But it's like, to Bose's point, everything felt rushed when it came to that. And I feel like, man, we celebrate 10 years. And then from what the professor said, like, no faction has done that. Where they're still there, the original piece, and it's just the original people. It's like, bro, come on. Like, that whole 2 hours should have been dedicated to New Day.
Yeah. And they had a couple video vignettes and stuff like that, but it should have closed the show. And we like Honey was right. Kofi slipped up when he said reunion. So the Big E reveal could have meant a lot more. And you can tell he was pretty emotional walking down that ramp. You can tell.
Yeah, again, like you said, 4 years, which lets us know.
To me, that makes me feel like, yo, I'm done. I know I'm done.
Yeah.
He was like, he had a real life moment soaking in that crowd.
Yeah, because he walked up there slow. Very slow. And the fact of too, like from what it seems like y'all haven't talked to one another either. So it was like, yo, like to come in, like, you know, like, hey man, look, I know things have been sour, but like, yo, man, we got to remember this positivity, man. Just dressed up, like he ain't gotta be dressed up in his singlet, but like the New Day attire, like, yo, what we doing is 10 years. Why we not celebrate? You're like, man, shut your ass up, man. What are you talking about?
Like, we ain't seen you in years.
Yeah.
I like the way they did that, though. I do like the way they flipped it.
Yeah, I like that part. But it was just like, because of how well that part was, I'm like, yo, imagine if y'all had been building this since 5 o'clock when it started. Like, how the hell we don't have a whole clip by itself of Coffee Mania happen? And don't say it's because this day you're trying to get AEW, because y'all stay showing that Ricochet clip with Braun Breaker.
Yep.
So why wasn't it a clip by itself of Big E coming champion, Xavier Woods becoming King of the Ring? Like, why did y'all put that all in one video and just play that?
It was rushed, so now it makes you think like there's going to be more layers to it. Maybe that maybe we see a pissed off Big E. They said that man's so big that you should have been overcame this.
And be like, what?
That's so crazy.
That's old. And then the name people that had neck injuries, like Stone Cold came back.
That man was befuddled. He said, "What you so big for? Why can't you do this?"
It's my neck. What you want me to do? What you mean? I want you to do? I want you to come back, and you didn't. You went took a desk job. You worried about you. How you gonna get? Wait a minute. I'm hurt. How you gonna get mad at me about that? To get hurt? Okay. And then they was like, you went did your own show, you doing things, you ain't got you a girlfriend, you gonna fuck about us. Well, wait a minute. Hold on. How you gonna get mad at real life great goals happening? Hold up.
Oh, you just buying houses now, but you can't.
We just buying houses. You ain't worried of you didn't worry about us when you bought your house.
Oh my god.
That ain't because I bought a house.
This is great. This is so great.
Wait a minute. You're like, take you and your big ass muscles back to your house. That for real, that's what we doing. That's what we doing right now. Word. I'm gonna go closer to the ropes.
Big E could have sold that mess even more, like you said, man. Like you mad? My credit score is good. What is going on?
Be like, go back to your desk job. How you gonna get mad that I took a job? What you want me to be at the house? I really did want to get the linger off thing, just because it's them. Like, he go to the ropes and he just going out. That's how y'all gonna do it for real though? All right. Y'all sure that's how y'all want to end this though? Like, that's how y'all want. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out. What, y'all sure? I thought I heard one of y'all say something. Was that what you did? You weren't about to say something? I felt like I coughed. It felt like you was about to just get out the okay.
Okay, I'll go. They didn't sell it enough. They didn't sell it.
Nah, they didn't.
It looked like he couldn't even like fake cry, you know?
Nah, nothing. That's what kind of bummed me out too, because I was like, damn, we can't get this. And that's the thing though, too, like, I think it got there, but they didn't let it push far enough. Like, I really would have, like, as they were saying that, like when Xavier was talking, I would have loved him to gotten the Big E's face and said that. Mm-hmm. But like when he said, like, yo, let's stop doing this. You ain't never coming back. Like, right in his face. Oh, that's what really made us not like y'all.
Yeah, I'll never boo the New Day. I love Heel New Day. I think Heel Kofi is amazing.
Yeah.
But to your point, yep. To your point, I hope that if there is like some saving grace of that segment, I think we got another month. I think the Royal Rumble will be a special place. Mm-hmm. And if they're in the ring trying to cheat to, like, you know, one of us need to win the Rumble and then E eliminates both of them, like, hey, you said I wouldn't come back. Now I'm here. It don't have to lead to blows, like you said. It can just be like, you motivated me to do this.
And all it got to be is him, like, and them Twitter fingers and talking during interviews and talking smack about him, like, to consistently keep building it up and picking with him. Like, that's all we need. We don't need no hits, no nothing. It's just like, you done seen all the verbal torments y'all been putting Big E through ever since y'all done switched up. Royal Rumble, he come out, double clothesline to take y'all over the ropes, and it's over.
Then I wonder what the move is from there. Then like,
probably them going one-on-one with each other.
I don't think they ever want to do that. But I mean, we'll see.
But to be honest with you, I don't think you need to anyway. Because if it was me, I would have him do that in the Rumble, clothesline both of them, and I would send Big E to SmackDown. Because remember, that's where he was before he got injured. So technically,
they were on SmackDown. He was on Raw. I thought
he got injured on SmackDown by Ridge.
Yeah, because that's when he was. Weren't they doing that against the Brawling Brutes? I don't remember.
Yeah, no, it was SmackDown because that's when the Intercontinental Championship was still there, and that was still So it was SmackDown is where he got injured.
Okay,
but I would say just bring him there, so then that way we don't have to see the blows and stuff because like that's redemption from them talking crap all those months about him. And it's like Big E's back, clothesline him to eliminate him and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what y'all get for turning your back on your brother. And then that'd be it. Let him go to SmackDown and do his thing. Let New Day do their thing on Raw.
And then you save a lot of time on a reunion when they let bygones be bygones and Big E still comes there to help his brothers for whatever is going on.
Yep.
We'll see.
But
that was Monday Night Raw. I'll give it a solid 8. I thought we got some good stuff out of Monday Night Raw. And then next week I think we probably will have another qualifying match in the Women's Intercontinental Tournament. We'll get Raquel versus Rhea. We'll see what the hell Drew McIntyre wants, amongst other things.
So it must be on the other side. Then, that means we get Lyra, Zelina, and Ivy next week. Ooh,
more than likely.
Ooh, that's good.
Tough choice.
Ooh, that's gonna be a match.
Tough choices. But make sure you tap in with us the rest of the week. We got WWT. Apparently, TK got WWT Live scheduled out to 2025. So we just gonna have shows. You just got to tune in when the shows are. Of course, we got Tuesday Night Pharaoh tomorrow for NXT Watch Along, which I think we probably are going to get a Ridge segment. I think we will, but I think we're going to see another layer of Jada and Lola because Jada says she's coming with something.
Yeah. And I think we get we have the fatal 4 ways for the last chance matches for Deadline for the men and the women. So we will see who are going to fill the final slots in the men's and women's Iron Survivor Challenge for Deadline. That is going to be dropping this Sunday or
Saturday. No, Sunday. Because main roster PLEs are Saturday, NXT PLEs are Sunday now.
Okay, yeah, but we will have a watch along for there, so you can join me for the NXT Deadline watch along. And it will. I think it is going to be something crazy to see.
I think so too, because we're gonna see which Samoan come help their cousin tomorrow.
Oh wow, I forgot about that. Ava being injured. Oh, and Eric Bischoff showing up tomorrow along with X-Pac as well, stopping by. So and Eric Bischoff has stated by the time he leaves tomorrow, Ridge and Trick are going to want to tear each other apart at Deadline. So that'll be interesting to see what Eric Bischoff is bringing tomorrow on NXT.
It will be interesting. Councilman, let the good people know where they can support you on these socials.
Well, you can always find me on my socials at Tsunami State Alumni. The U. All right. You again support our Kickstarter so we can get Bronson Reed some bionic ankles because we cannot have our favorite big back man outside of Obafemi, of course, suffering from like that. Also, another Kickstarter to help us sue Sami Zayn for not taking that splash like he was supposed to. I know he wasn't nowhere on that side of the ring, but he should have been over there to take the splash so Bronson Reed wouldn't hurt his ankles. I don't know why he's so selfish. And the fact that he just being selfish got him a main event on Raw. I just think we're giving the wrong people rewards, in my opinion. And I would like to file an injunction for those effects. So that's where y'all can follow and support me. Of course, Tuesday Night Pharaoh, as the mayor said, Wednesday and Friday for WWC Live. And then tune in this Thursday, 3 o'clock TCW, Trail Championship Wrestling. I know, we didn't do it because of the holidays and Thanksgiving. Thank God, because I had the itis just like the rest of y'all. Y'all would. So Thursday, though, we are returning. So y'all going to see the ramifications of overtaking. If you got to see the Trill Premium Live event, you already know we're going into the next chapter. So tune in.
Okay. And you can see me here for Monday Night Mayor on Mondays, WT Live, Wednesdays, Fridays. You can catch me on the socials at Said Is The Answer on the gram, Said Says on Twitter. And you should check out my website for any type of hot takes and journalism work at www.3current WWE superstars have a better back fist than Asuka.com.
See, I was going to compliment you and tell you to check out your articles. Now it's going to sound like I'm co-signing what you said. And I would. So outside of what he just said with that.
Lola, Kyrie, Ivar. Standing on it.
I will allow him to say that is his opinion. I have no opinion on that, but I will say if you have not checked out the mayor's articles, please go check them out because he does some great write-ups. He has some fantastic hot takes, and I think it's definitely a must-read for y'all to see.
Just saying. So Neil ain't been here in 24 hours. We're gonna talk about these back fists eventually, but this is good.
She was on WWT Live and she was firing shots. And I was like, we thought she was gonna pop up. And I was like,
she was going. Them back fists start flying. Them real back fists, the ones that hurt.
We just got to see Asuka come back and then see where she is.
It's gonna be like 2 steps slower. It's gonna.
Why you acting like she gonna miss a step?
She started it.
Endless beef.
Endless.
Oh,
but this has been the WWE Monday Night Post Show for Monday Night Raw. We'll be back next week for the Monday Night Mayor Watch Along as well as the post show. Tap in with us tomorrow for Tuesday Night Pharaoh and WWT Live the rest of the week and check out our links and everything else. All our interviews coming up this week. We're back in full effect. And make sure before you get up out of here that you cop you some merch. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, yo, you. Yeah, you that's watching this. You sitting on the couch staring at the screen not knowing what you want to do like this is an online college. Are you tired of wearing shirts that make you look like an extra stuck in catering? Do you want to step your wrestling swag game up to the next level? Then Women's Wrestling Talk has got you covered. Like literally. Are you for life in pink or black and white? Or maybe you're the EST and people need to respect you accordingly. Want to put some pride in your stride and show off the muscle in your hustle? Then make sure you check out the WWT store. Not now, but right now. Alright? What you waiting for? Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms. Like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.